The bet's to you.
I'm all in.
Man, I remember when I pulled my first job, trying to get through the first in-class essay in 15 minutes, deciphering all the parts that I needed to. Crazy, man. Right, so it was a nice day in September, and I was out here reading a story about good readers and good writers. I had no idea what I was doing, because it was my first try. I remember deciphering the passage, looking for any and all rhetorical strategies, trying to appeal to the emotions of my clients, given my newfound credibility. The whole basis of this was to prepare me for the so-called AP laying exam. My boss first told me about it when I was a youngin', because apparently there's a new one every year, held in the new wing. The only ones who were stupid enough to steal it were caught. But we're different.
Jimmy, I thought I told you to stop putting cards in your sleeve. Stop making that face.
Quit yapping and pay up.
You know, you do this every time. Last person to have luck as good as you got caught cheating and had to pay up 4.7 million.
Hey, this reminds me of the time I had to write an argumentative essay. Picking evidence just from my brain out of the blue, using them to support lines of reasoning, like supporting my thesis. Couldn't make heads or tails of the organizational structure for evaluation, let alone causal.
And don't get me started on synthesis. They give you the source this time, but then you have to make the sources talk to each other.
Let me get this straight. You're telling me that these are the foundations of heisting and AP laying?
Yeah, it's the basis of all you'll need.
So you see, the plan of the heist is, they got the AP booklet in the new wing, and I think that belongs to us now. You see, heavily guarded. Kind of like my skills at rhetorical analysis, I'm great at picking apart tones and personas of people. So those guards, I'll see them come in 3 miles away. I'll know every single weakness they have. Now we're gonna start today.
Now I need y'all to know that the biggest challenge of heisting in AP Lang is knowing how to adapt when you don't understand. Like knowing the difference between ethos, pathos, and logo.
I get you. I struggle to understand the lesson on quotation integration and how to be fluid with it. I ended up associating the letters to the definitions, as I learned from the ad practices we did to figure out the appeals. You feel?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you nothing about syntax. All those fancy words made it hard to keep track. I guess we can try to pivot and ask Ms. Pramos to clarify some clarifying questions.
Focus up, everyone. As Don was telling us previously, the objectives of the heist is to be fully aware of the rhetorical situation. We need to know what the audience of our guards think and feel and how we can make the most of that. But this doesn't just apply to this heist, this applies to the entirety of heisting good grades in AP Lang.
Like getting our message across?
Exactly. I'm Joey Crackers, and I've really sharpened my writing skills this year. I learned the parts of the essays and what exactly makes the AP graders tick. When I first heard that sources need to talk to each other, I set up a conference room thinking I would have to moderate an argument. However, after learning about how sources could connect, I gained the skill of using phrases like further supports this and can be disproved by that. Now, I actually do make the sources talk to each other. But it hasn't all gone to plan for me. Whenever I have to make a synthesis or argument paper, I'm never able to figure out which type of argument to write about. Once, after I thought I nailed it, my teacher commented, "Not necessarily the kind of arg." That deflated me like a balloon. Now, I'm here, using all these different types and forms of analysis, and I still have trouble organizing them differently. But I still have hope, because I know when I need to write my college essays, the evidence gathering process from arguments, essays, and the analyzation from each type of essay will help me get a better chance at acceptance. Improvement with essays can change my life forever. That's why I'm here, planning on robbing those graders blind and proving I'm worth my salt.
So here's the plan. Joey's gonna distract those guards, while Jimmy hacks into the security. Rocco and I are gonna be on the ground, and we'll get out with those answers.
I'd always struggled with rhetorical essays, trying to know what someone else's idea was and why they said what they did. Of course, now I'm much better at them thanks to the class. Loved argumentative ones though, they always had the most practical use for day-to-day life. Learning them helped me with drawing sources from memory and countering what someone else would say before they could even say it. Would have done a lot better if I just read the instructions and did the homework more consistently and thoroughly. Doing bad on an open note test because you lost the notes is just embarrassing. I'm lucky Don didn't drop me after that mess up. I just hope I can redeem myself by getting the grades and escaping clean.
Now, to make it easier to follow, I'm going to explain heisting in AP Lang in just some simple terms. Probably have to tell you that it's all about comprehending choices made to get messages and purposes across in writing, all while being efficient, which is something that we have to do. Any comments?
How should we go about studying and mapping out the hit? Should we do it like usual, where we gather all the information at once, then process and chunk it bit by bit? Like that time we learned about special acronym IVEO SafeCats? Or should we fly right in?
The first way. We never fly in without studying and completely understanding all of the pieces. We approach our material with an open mind, ready to be prepared for all twists and turns. Then we make our plan of attack.
Sounds sweet to me. I remember looking back, thinking about what I could have done differently in AP Lang. But there's only two real things that I thought I could fix. One of them being reassessments. I didn't take all my reassessments, and that was really fatal to me because I wasn't able to test my skills twice and get a better score. And the other thing I think I could have improved on was potentially taking more notes, because notes are very important because pop quizzes might happen at any time. So it's good to always have your notes available in case you ever have a pop quiz. So thank you.
Phenomena. Do 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 do. Phenomena. Do 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 do. Phenomena. Do 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 do.
All right, I'm in.
You know, AP writers, they really underestimate what they can write in 40 minutes. I mean, they think, oh, that's way too much. It's not enough time. I need 3 days. But when you put your mind to it, you can get it all done.
Man, if I could do this all over again, I'd make sure I never miss one of those ICE retakes. I mean, explaining your reasoning and why you should have the right to retake really helps me replan and retool my essays. And in Primos's class especially, you have to listen to her comments because it's always helpful, and she makes sure to properly structure your essay. And when you don't listen, you don't get a good grade.
Yeah, and those open note quizzes, man. I mean, you can never miss out on the notes. She says they're optional, but like, you gotta do them if you want to succeed. I mean, even if not for the quizzes, they teach you valuable things for your essays.
That's true. And even if you don't do good on your first quiz, there's always a retake. So you always have to study your notes again if you mess up the first time. So don't forget to do that so you can have a better opportunity in the future.
So true.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.